And moving on to the big Times Now super exclusive this evening. Viewers, amidst the war of words between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party over the Delhi liquor policy, facts are getting buried. Times Now has spoken to a number of sources in the investigating agencies to understand the math behind the suspected scam. Agency sources have revealed that the new liquor policy essentially landed more money in the hand of the realtors, in the hand of the retailers, I beg your pardon, at the expense of the exchequer, and also meant that the consumer had to pay a higher price for the bottle. So that's what Times Now has been able to find with regards to the maths that we've able to do. Some statistics that we're going to put out in just a bit, while the Aam Aadmi Party has been alleging that the scam exists only in the mind of the BJP and that the loss to the exchequer was caused by the Lieutenant Governor's last-minute hurdle in the implementation of the policy, while the blame game continues and the ultimate truth of the allegations will be tested by the courts. Times Now is the first channel attempting to put some numbers related to the policy under the agency's radar. The first page of the graphics, and we'll just put that out for you. The first page of the special graphics that you see on the screen shows an example of the retail margin available as per the old liquor policy that was replaced by the new one implemented by the Kejriwal government. The intel sources now say that in this specific case, the old liquor policy left a retailer with 33.5 rupees after the sale of the bottle. But the new policy, in contrast to the old policy, ensured the margin rose to 363.27 rupees. So that's 10 times jump for the retailer. And that's exactly what we're trying to point out via these very graphics. And since this margin was due to reduced tax, it thereby directly cost the exchequer. So profit for the retailer and loss to the exchequer. That's the comparison that we've been able to find out. The second set of the numbers shows, as per agencies' claims, that the maximum retail price payable by the end consumer for this specific example also rose from 530 rupees as per the old policy to 560 rupees in the new policy. And what this essentially meant is that consumers for the same bottle of liquor as per the new policy, while the retailers once again were walking away to the bank. So that's the comparison that Times Now gets to you. Now remember, the war of words has been ongoing. The Aam Aadmi Party has rejected all of these claims of loss to exchequer, has said that had the Delhi Lieutenant Governor not changed his decision, Delhi would have been earning at least 10,000 crore rupees every year. They've reiterated their faith in the new excise policy. They've gone on to defend it. They're still defending it. Times Now, meanwhile, carried out an exclusive investigation and reached various locations linked to the accused in the case. We reached to the premises of Sunny Marwaha, Amandeep Dhal, Sameer Mahendru, Dinesh Arora, Amit Arora. All of them, by the way, are also named in the CBI FIR. Take a look at these exclusive ground reports.
आप निरुत्तर हैं। जनता ये पूछ रही है, आपने क्यों नहीं कोई पब्लिक नोटिस दिया? क्या ये वाजिब सवाल नहीं है? और सबसे बड़ी बात है, जो कमीशन था उसको बढ़ाकर 12% कर दिया गया निजी व्यक्ति को। पब्लिक नोटिस नहीं दिया, टेंडर नहीं निकाला, क्योंकि आप चाहते थे कुछ चुने हुए विशेष व्यक्ति जो कि आपकी तिजोरी भरे, उनको ही टेंडर दिया जाए। और सबसे बड़ी बात है, जब कमीशन 2% थी, उसको 12% करा, तो ये जो राजस्व का नुकसान हुआ, इसकी भरपाई कौन करेगा?
पिछले एक महीने से जो स्क्रिप्ट भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ताओं को मिला था, उसमें 4 आंकड़े थे। एक 8,000 करोड़ का घोटाला, एक 1,100 करोड़ का घोटाला, एक 144 करोड़ का घोटाला और एक 30 करोड़ का घोटाला। ये 4 घोटाले पिछले एक महीने से भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जो ये स्क्रिप्ट है उसमें चल रहे थे। अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी के साथ समस्या ये हो गई कि सीबीआई ने FIR फाइल कर दी, और उस FIR में चलिए 8,000 नहीं, 1,100 भी नहीं, पर 144 और 30 करोड़ तक भी FIR नहीं पहुंची। तो अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी को कोई नई स्क्रिप्ट की जरूरत है, लेकिन जैसे एक्साइज पॉलिसी का हर कदम, एक्साइज पॉलिसी की हर डिसीजन जिस प्रकार से 100% लीगल तरीके से दी गई है, वैसे ही चाहे लाइसेंसेस दिए जाने हो, चाहे वेवर्स दिए जाने हो, सब कुछ 100% ड्यू प्रोसेस से हुआ है.
All right, let me go across to Madhav, who's joining us with more details. Madhav, in the ongoing war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP, the limelight somewhere has been taken away from the math, from the numbers, from the allegations that were first leveled against the new excise policy. If you could just put this in perspective once again for our viewers, because we've done that math and we've put it out for viewers to understand how through and through, via these numbers, it goes on to suggest clearly that all this while, the couple of months that the new excise policy was in place, it was profit for the retailers, loss to the exchequer.
Well, yes, this is the information that we've been able to exclusively call out, and for our viewers, just want to explain what these numbers really are about. They're about the various components that go into actually making what the cost of a bottle of liquor as per the old and the new policy is. There are various sets of calculations that our reporters have been working on and have been able to get, whether it's 375, 180, 90 ml or 500 ml. But we're specifically talking about the cost of a 750 ml bottle here is. Now, in the old policy, as you had also mentioned a short while earlier, while the excise duty per bottle was at 223.89. Here it is just 1.88 because it is a lump sum one-time excise duty that is being charged over here. So the manner in which the excise duty is charged changes, and as a result of that, the total number of the VAT, etc., all of that also drastically changes in terms of what is earned by the exchequer in terms of the sales and in terms of revenues. What is also being told to us, and this is what the agencies are looking at, is that the margin of the retailer jumps up about 10 times from 33.35 to 363.27. That is as far as the margin of the retailers is concerned. So were the retailers thereby given a windfall profit? That is certainly a very important question, because that is the investigating agency's point of view as well. And in all of this, what is also very significant is that while there were deep discounts being offered, while it was being told that the new liquor policy enabled prices to be slashed drastically, it's A, because perhaps there was a huge margin for the retailer that they were actually able to do that, and B, as per the original price, the actual price, which is about 5 to 10% higher, 530 versus 560 as far as the average price per bottle is concerned. And therefore, once these initial discounts, etc., would have been done away with, is it a fact that these that this alcohol, as per the new policy, would eventually have proved to be more costly, more dear for the common man? So these are some of the questions that are being looked at very closely by investigators. At this point of time, they've not been able to conclusively establish it, but certainly these are believed to be, as per sources, the lines of the investigation. Now, it's another matter altogether whether they're able to establish the quid pro quo about how the liquor manufacturers or the retailers really managed to go ahead and benefit leaders or bureaucrats, whether those whether that allegation of cash being received by them is proven in a court of law. That's certainly something that CBI is looking at. But this is certainly a very, very important aspect as to the difference between the old policies and how the new policy perhaps was meant to benefit the retailers.
So the big question is, Madhav, in that sense, that was it just the vendors who were truly the beneficiaries of the new excise policy? Because that's the question that has repeatedly been asked by the BJP as well of the Aam Aadmi Party. For the moment, let's quickly talk about the ground reportage. Times Now has been carrying out exclusive investigations, and we've reached several locations linked to the accused in the case. Remember, the CBI FIR has named all of those accused who are currently under the CBI's radar. Let's quickly play out some of these ground reports first up.
We're in the defense colony outside the residence of Amit Arora. He's one of the close associates of Deputy CM Manish Sisodia. He's also the director of the retailer company, and also this mention in the FIR, which is Buddy Retailer Private Limited, which is based in Gurgaon. Now we are outside his residence. You can see this is the third floor where the residence of Amit Arora is. Now the charges that are level against him as per the FIR is mentioned in the FIR as well, in which it states that he was the close associate, he's one of the close associates of Manish Sisodia and was actively involved in managing and diverting the undue pecuniary advantage collected from the liquor licenses to accused public servants. Now he's one of the guys who had been, he's one of the mediators, in fact, who has been collecting the funds, monetary funds from the liquor vendors and providing it to the public servants. Now these are the charges which have been leveled against this particular person. Now in the FIR, CBI had mentioned these charges. Now, at the same time, we also given to understand that this morning Abhishek Dutt, the senior leader of Congress, while speaking exclusively to Times Now, stated that he also stated that his involvement in this particular case is quite relevant, and he's also showed pictures of Amit Arora with the Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, and also pictures with Arvind Kejriwal. Now we are outside the particular residence, and we are given to understand that CBI had conducted raids in this particular residence as well.
CBI had raided various locations all across the country, including the residence of Manish Sisodia, and had actually filed an FIR 2 days earlier in connection with the excise policy case, in which 15 people have been mentioned, including various public servants, ex-excise ministers, private players in the liquor business. And currently we are outside the office of Mahadev Liquors Private Limited, which is owned by Sunny Marwa. He has also been named as an accused in this case. Now it has been alleged by the CBI that he was in close contacts with the public servants and was actually giving bribes to them. But when we went to his residence today, he was not there. We were told that it was on rent, and he has left it way back earlier. And now this is the office of Sunny Marwa, the office of Mahadev Private Limited, which has been also mentioned in the FIR copy of the CBI. And the CBI said that he was in close contacts and was actually giving bribes to these public servants. These are very serious allegations against Sisodia and also private players in this liquor business. This is exactly the building which has also, this business has also been named in the FIR along with Sunny Marwa, who's the authorized signatory of this business. It'll have to be seen whether CBI probes this matter more. We also spoke to the security guard here of this building, and he told us that he came here yesterday. However, he was unsure whether CBI came here or not. कल यहाँ CBI आई थी.
आप बाहर चलिए.
नहीं बताइए आप
हम कहते हैं पहले बाहर चलिए ना.
हाँ ठीक है, बाहर आइए. अब बताइए आपकी प्रॉपर्टी से बाहर है. कल यहाँ CBI आई थी.
हमको जानकारी कुछ नहीं है.
और कल सर यहाँ पे आए थे सनी.
आप आए थे.
मैं आई थी कल. ठीक है. As you can see, this is the security guard of this building, and he's clearly not speaking in front of the camera, but off camera he told us that Sunny Marwa had actually in fact came here yesterday, but he's not sure, he's not divulging whether the CBI team came here. But this is the official residence of Mahadev Liquor Private Limited, which has also been named in the FIR along with its authorized signatory Sunny Marwa. I'm outside the office of Indo Spirit, whose managing director Sameer Mahendru is under the scanner of the Central Bureau of Investigation. In fact, the CBI had yesterday issued a lookout circular against him and several others in connection with the case. Now, the allegation against Mahendru is that he, along with others, were actively involved in irregularities in framing and implementation of excise policy. There's another allegation against him, which in the CBI FIR, which reveals that one of the person used to collect undue pecuniary advantages from him for onward transmission to public servants, and in fact one of the person had also collected cash of 2 to 4 crore from Sameer Mahendru on behalf of one Vijay Nair. So these are the allegations against Sameer Mahendru. When we came to the Indo Spirit office, he was not here. We also went to his official residence, and he's not available there either. But the agencies has issued a lookout circular against him to find him. In fact, few days ago, 5 of the 15 people who have been named in the FIR were also summoned by the Central Bureau of Investigation. समीर महेंद्रू है ऊपर?
नहीं, कल भी नहीं आया, परसों में मुझको देखा तक नहीं था. कैसे दिखता है?
कल परसों नहीं आया.
2 दिन से मैं ड्यूटी ज्वाइन किया हूँ यहाँ पे.
आपने भी 2 दिन से ड्यूटी ज्वाइन की है?
नहीं, मेरा
सीबीआई की रेड पड़ी थी यहाँ बिजनेस पे?
हाँ, पहले
पड़ी थी। कुछ कितने लोग आए थे? सीबीआई के कितने लोग थे?
वो तो मालूम नहीं है, हम तो नाइट में ड्यूटी थे, हम तो 2-3 दिन से।
पर आए थे सीबीआई वाले यहाँ आए थे?
2-3 दिन से तो हम स्टे में आए हैं, ऐसे मेरा नाइट ड्यूटी।
उसके बाद समीर महेंद्र यहाँ आए नहीं?
नहीं, हम उसके बाद नहीं देखे। समीर महेंद्र की देरी को नहीं आया,
मतलब रेड के बाद नहीं आए?
वो तो मालूम नहीं, लेकिन हम तो 1-2 दिन से दिन में आ रहे हैं, हम देखे नहीं। तो जिसे मेरा नाइट ड्यूटी था।
All right, before I take this across to the guest joining us this evening, let's quickly talk about the latest development, and this is a dramatic one indeed, with regards to the Aam Aadmi Party versus Centre. The fight exploding again. The Lieutenant Governor has now written a letter to Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal where he has made a sensational charge. He stated that the Chief Minister is not signing the files himself. The files that are being sent to the Chief Minister's office are instead being signed by some other bureaucrats. The Lieutenant Governor has stated that files are being put up without the Chief Minister's signature and therefore proposals must be signed by the Delhi Chief Minister alone. So that's the letter of the Lieutenant Governor to Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, wherein the Lieutenant Governor has now asked the Delhi Chief Minister to sign the files in the interest of governance, sign the files all by himself. Quickly, with that note, taking this up with our guest joining us this evening, we have Dr. D.K. Giri with us and also Vineet Goenka, a spokesperson of the BJP. Dr. D.K. Giri, what do you have to first up make of, what the Lieutenant Governor has said? A letter that has been written to Arvind Kejriwal, the Delhi Chief Minister, urging him to sign all the files that reach his office all by himself and by not any of the junior officials. First up, a quick comment and then we'll go across to the big explosive story we're tracking.
Yeah, this is, I think, a procedural and protocol matter, and I don't think we should be nitpicking. If the Chief Minister has to sign the file, he will sign the files. I don't know what is the protocol. I was the private secretary to a minister once upon a time. There are many files I could sign myself and send it to the higher authorities. So it's a matter of protocol. I don't think this has anything to do with excise policy or governance.
It does somewhere come into the picture, Dr. Giri, because a lot of allegations have been made about who's taken consent, who's taken due permission, what about the formulation of the new excise policy, the liquor policy, and hence these kind of developments do indeed become important. But quickly taking a word from you with regards to the MAT that we've done. We've compiled these numbers.
Trivial matters. I'm
Sir,
sorry.
hear us out. We've compiled these numbers. That's the big explosive story that we're tracking today. Hear me out, Dr. Giri. The old liquor policy retail margin, as per sources, as per this data, as per the data, is 33.5 rupees. The new liquor policy retail margin is 363.27 rupees. The takeaway here is then that the retailer makes money 10 more times. So there certainly is the loss to the exchequer, profit to the retailer, and we've compiled that data. It goes on to explain what the other side has been alleging.
Right. Let me tell you, this is the 10th time I'm appearing on a channel, 6th time in your channel on this show. And whatever research I have found out, the substantive allegation is 175 crore, 30 crore EMD that was returned, which was perhaps not procedural because they didn't have the no objection certificate or they could not manage it. Other is the waiving off of the license fee of 144 crore, period. Okay. That is the only allegation. Again, the waiving of the license fee, is it their government decision? I have the report here. I have statistics where the central government has waived up 10 lakh crore to the NPAs in the bank of different companies. So the government takes the decision to boost the economy and give these waivers to the companies to revitalize the economy. There is no corruption. There is no.
You're saying there's no corruption. The Aam Aadmi Party has also been come out and saying no. The Aam Aadmi Party has also put out a set of defences for itself. So let's see how it plays out. But going back to what has come out in the latest. Vineet Goenka, this is serious. The fact that the Lieutenant Governor has now written a letter to Arvind Kejriwal and he says that the files that are being sent to the Chief Minister's office are being put up without the Chief Minister's signature, perhaps the Joint Secretary or the Additional Secretary signing them. How do you view this? This is going to turn out to be a big political debate now.
I'm sure this will turn out to be a big political debate one day, and why it has been done. But in the meantime, let me bring focus of the audience again on the corruption, and maybe probably Mr. Giri is not aware that 144 crore rupees was waived off as a license fee. No procedures were followed. It's a clear case of favoritism and corruption. 30 crore rupees earnest deposit money been returned to the tenderer. When he flouts, he is not able to meet the conditions of the tender. No tender is supposed to do. And this was done in February this year, which was not a COVID period. The increase of commission to the vendor was from 2% to 12%, 600% increase in earning. I have not heard this on the entire planet.
Okay,
just somebody does
and we've been touching upon that, the allegations being leveled by the BJP. But I want to hear from you, what do you make of this charge? Because the fact that the Lieutenant Governor now, and this is certainly in continuation to what has been happening the past couple of days, pressure after pressure from both the sides, and now the Lieutenant Governor has written to the Chief Minister. He says the signature of the concerned minister should be a matter of routine. It should be the Chief Minister or the concerned minister who should be signing those files, no one else.
Unfortunately, ministers are busy going outside the state, giving bluff promises outside the state. They don't attend to routine meetings. But yes, the ministers in Delhi were very efficient in attending meeting, and I'll give you 5 dates. February 5th, 2021, April 15, 2021, May 21, 2021, November 5, 2021, and June 23, 2021. In the mid of the COVID, they were very efficient. All the ministers sat down. Who are these ministers? Manish Sisodiya, Kailash Gehlot, Satyendra Jain, and made this policy. When people were dying because of COVID, they were very diligent, making this policy, pushing this policy. When LG observed and sent it back a couple of times, even then they pushed it through the nose. So and the Deputy Chief Minister, in place of signing the files, did a presentation called as equitable distribution of liquor. Now these people are more interested in selling daru. Darubaaj log hai. Daru ki dalali karte hain. They're not interested in signing the regular files. They're not interested in doing governance. They talk high about liquor. They have reduced the age of drinking. They have increased the number of days. They have increased the number of hours to be sold, only to benefit their partners in crime.
No, but why? Dr. D.K. Giri, why would the Chief Minister not sign those files for himself?
Rehta kahan hai office mein?
Well, that now LG has written to him, but he might reconsider. But I just want to make one point. You know, the BJP spokesperson come with a prepared text. Bineet Goenka started by saying, I am not aware. I quoted the same figures that he mentioned. You see, oblivious of what I said. This is the problem with the BJP spokesperson coming to a debate with a prepared text. He quoted 30 crore and 144 crore. I quoted the same figure. How did he say that I am not aware? So you have a preconceived idea to attack somebody.
And the Chief Minister, via this very letter, been called out
I said
for undermining process.
I quoted this figure. I quoted this figure, Mr. Goenka, how I am not aware. You repeated the same figure.
Ravi Dhawan committee that it should not be given
to forget about that. How did you say I am not aware? I am a professional. I am a professional debater. I do my research. I do my own research. You may come with a brief.
Okay, Mr. Goenka, let Dr. Giri make his point, and then you can come in. Dr. Giri, go ahead.
Who want to finish the entire generation of youngsters here in Delhi.
Yes. Mr. Goenka, hold on. Let him make his point, and then you can come in. Mr. Goenka, hold on. Yes, Dr. Giri.
Yes.
Dr. Giri, you have to tell on behalf of them that they have done crime.
They should listen to the debater, then reply. He started by, then again he is interrupting. Look at his rattled. He is interrupting. This is not how you debate, gentlemen.
Just answer to the question, Dr. Giri. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And the modicum of a debate.
Giri Sahab,
I am answering to the question. I started by saying the allegation, a substantive allegation. Again he is interrupting. Look at the gentleman. Hold on, gentlemen.
Okay. We're going to have to wrap this up, Dr. Giri and Vineet Goenka. It's going to be interesting to see what the Aam Aadmi Party's official response to this is going to be. Quickly handing this over.